everybody. So today I'm going to do a little something that I haven't really done before, but I guess I have sort of done it, but yeah, we're going to do a little bit something new of a review sorts. I'm going to explain to you, all you, why you should go pro-line when it comes to tires and rims. So let's begin. As you guys know, when I first got the Bomber, it had these BFG Bajas from Axial. Now they're a good tire, but my issue was they had a lot of just tire lean and no knob to really hold that tire really at all. And the rims, of course, they're just your typical glue-on Walker Evans, and hey, they work. So, in all honesty, it's not a huge problem, but you definitely need to upgrade. So, Axial, maybe a different tire on a future Bomber, future build of sorts. Put a little bit something more muddy on there, something a little better than this. This is good on the score, but I don't think these tires are really the greatest for the Bomber. They just don't hold up. In all honest review there, they just don't hold up for the kind of driving I personally do, and a lot of you guys I know do. So, they clog up with mud, not great in the sand, things like that. Although, they kind of are good in the sand, but again, there's just nothing there, right? There's nothing to really keep the sand moving. It's like a radial when you get out in the mud. Nothing. So you gotta upgrade. And what do you upgrade to? Well, you can go to a lot of companies. You can get lots of different rims. There's lots of different tires out there. But for me, not just because I have the sponsorship or anything like that, I personally have always liked Proline tires. I've run Proline tires on that. I ran Proline tires on that. So of course I'm going to run the Proline tires on that. And I've ran the tightest rims on that, the tightest rims on that, and now the tightest rims on this. So there's a bit of a, connection on why I'm doing this. When it comes to the tires, these are the XLs. So keep that in mind. The normal 2.2s are a little smaller. They'd be more the size of that. So these are a little wider, a little taller. But when you look at the sides, look at the knob that's there. A lot of sidewall knobs. So when you're crawling, all these little knobs are getting stuck on the rocks and helping the truck keep moving. Yes, you will pop beads, being that I also have very little foam in there, so that when the truck's sitting, it's got a full footprint. That's what I like. I like that full flat footprint, just to get that bit extra tire on the ground. And then through here, notice these, they got the little slits. That's helping all the stuff spread through the tire. As you notice in those, it just gums up. Here, it's actually getting spread through. And even through the little slits here, that's what I'm talking about. These little slits are actually helping spread everything through the tire. Then you have all the special little grooves that is helping the mud and sand get pushed, and it's actually pushing through what you want. Even the rock, the rocks are getting into every little nook and cranny. That is a very good tire. That's what you are looking for. Now again, RC four-wheel drive, Boom Racing, a lot of companies that make tires. And RC four-wheel drive, they actually have these exact tires. So it's really up to you on who you want to go for tires. But personal experience, a Proline tire has never let me down. They have always been a good tire, great compound, and they last, and that's a big thing for me. As you can see, my bead's already getting popped out a little bit right there, just from the little bit of driving I've been doing. And again, I get the tires nice and locked in and pulling, right? I'm using the knobs. That's why I get the knob, is if you're going to be crawling, you want those knobs. That's something you want. And again, I also like mud. I like to go in sand. So these knobs are helping me with everything I'm wanting to do. They're a swamper, or what are they? They're the, super swamper. So they're meant for mud. But when it comes to all the rock, having these knobs just be able to click into everything you need and the nice big gaps, so a big, edge of a rock's in there, and then it's going to move, right? That's what you want. Now, one thing that is something you also would want to look for, a much higher torque servo, which I don't have. But the higher torque servo is going to help keep those tires where you want them. Because eventually, you're going to get to a point where you want to be turning that way, but the tires being so big and they're jammed in that rock, you basically got to keep moving to Armstrong steering almost with these tires. Before, it was very easy. The tires didn't have to work. Now, the second reason why they're working a little harder. These rims. When it comes to the rims, you can go all metal, you can go whatever, right? There's multi-piece, there's plenty of rims you can get. Axial does their own versions. Axial sandwiches on both sides, so you can basically run any kind of tire. Proline rims, you're going to want to run strictly Proline tires, mainly because of their bead design. Their bead design is very different to many other companies in this, so that their rims fully lock into their tires. It's a set pattern for the lock, the way the tires and rims lock together. Whereas, again, like I said, the axials just sandwich it into the bead. These actually use the bead of the tire with the ring and lock it to the rim, much like an actual bead lock. Again, in real life, there's a few different kinds of bead locks, I'm sure. So it is a personal choice, but for me, this is a simple rim. 3-piece, you got your ring that sits inside the tire, then you have your rim itself that slides in, then you have, which once it's slid in, it locks that bead in. So the ring and the rim actually lock the bead in on the back side. And on this side, it's the ring that bolts onto the rim. And the nice thing about these is because you can see there's many bolts. I think there's like 12, around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 12. So you got 12 bolts all the way around. That's holding that bead in a lot. With the sandwich, you can even run 4 and it's probably going to be fine, but having all those, every single piece of that bead's getting held in. But again, you pinch these tires enough, you're going to pull a bead. So, for me, it's just, you're going to have the problem. Don't stress over it, because really you should always reseat your rims and tires anyway, because these can slide, whatever, and clean out your rims, clean out the foams. It's always a good idea to take things apart and service them anyway. So, is that going to affect my driving? I'll probably keep driving that until it's fully popped up. I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to do some more driving and we'll go from there. But that's because even though that's popped out right there, there's still that holding that one side in. So it's still being held in quite a lot. And it's really, they don't even get fully popped out right away. It's amazing how well these hold in. And the biggest joy about the tightest bead locks is they're the cheapest 2.2 rim. You can put them on an E-Revo, they fit on a lot of things, which is great. But they fit on these. They fit on all the SCX-10, they fit on the Wraith. They fit, and that's what I like. They have a good spacing, so it gives it a little wider. And another thing, really, when you look at the style, I'll grab a Walker Evans there. Keep this sitting like that so you guys can see. Here's the Walker Evans. And by the way, I don't have any more. I got rid of the 4 here. I gave them to a buddy that needs some 2.2 rims and tires. But anyway, so there's the Walker Evans, right? Stock rim for the Bomber when you buy it. I like the look of a Walker Evans tire. I've never had a problem with it. There is the Titus. Slightly different, and by slightly I mean they're different, but they match. They match the way the truck kind of looks, and they've always worked for me. They're a good thick plastic. They're the cheapest one, so for me that's a big bonus. But they also have the Denali and the Fault Line, I believe. The Fault Line rims and the Denali rims. And those are the ones you can also get 1.9 version. You cannot get the Titus in the 2.2. So, when it comes to this, I will be running the Denali or the Fault Line. But Proline, their stuff lasts, it's durable, and that's a big thing for me. I don't like trying new things, spending all the money, and then it blowing out on me or whatever. And I'd love all aluminum rims, but they're expensive, right? So I just don't really feel like spending that much money when I know this is going to work for me, and they look great, they work great, they've got good weight to them. So what's the point in spending all the money when you can get something that looks just fine, right? So that is why I go for Proline. Durable, well priced, good service when you need them. If you have any issues, they're right there to help you. And they just look awesome. I mean, come on guys, look at the Bomber. It looks just perfect. Instead of having that, like, that's what I mean, guys. The difference is huge. And that's where I kind of want ACL to see is it looks much better with the big tires, or at least that mudder tire, than it does with these little dinky radials, is what I basically call them. So, there's my reasons. If I were you guys, I'd get on the Proline, I'd check out their rims, I'd check out their tires. They've got many selections of tires, the 3 selections of rims. But the tires, you've got XL versions, this is the 2.2 versions, you got 1.9, 1.9 XL versions. So there's lots to choose from. Fantastic tires. I've run these now. I've run the Proline Chisels, which are an awesome paddle sort of tire. That's what I like to call them, because they just, I think they'd be perfect on like the rear of a Yeti brushless, just blowing sand up. It'd be great. I've run the flat irons, the 2.2 regular 2.2 flat irons. Awesome tires, great grip. I can't remember it's either the G8 or the G4 or whatever compound. I think it was the softer compound. And man, they just chugged up everything that they looked at. And now I've run the Swampers. So honestly, guys, the only ones I haven't run are their new BFG all-terrains and both their new BFGs that they've got in, and the that might be it. I think I've run a good majority of their tires now, so no complaints from me. And I drive my trucks hard. I like to bash, and no holes, no nothing. They just keep on going. I drive through sticks, lumber, whatever, and they just crack through everything. And that's, again, good heavy tire. Just chugs through whatever you point it at. So take it from me. They're Quak approved. All you guys out there, check out Proline. ProlineRacing.com. Links will be in the description. They got pit mats. And again, guys, non-slip pit mat. That's what I like. Then you've got your CowRc here you can use, but when it comes to a non-slip, nothing really beats the Proline pit mats in my opinion. tons more stuff that you guys can look at. Tons of scale items, everything you need, hats, even a t-shirt, but it's really hot right now, so I'm just kind of in this. But check them out. Don't wait. Draw line racing. The way to go. Have a good one, guys.